In this video, I'm going to be explaining how the markets may be setting us up for the next bull run on altcoins, more commonly known as the alt season. Now, I'm also going to be explaining on how we can better prepare ourselves for the remainder of the year going into 2025 and possibly even to 2026. So first of all, we have a few ways that we can approach on how this can be achieved. You guys are probably familiar with the term alt season already. It's basically when Bitcoin either moves up, down, or most importantly, stalls in price and creates a range while altcoins like Ethereum, XRP, and so forth goes for a run. Now, we can make use of this up, down, or sideways observation for Bitcoin in combination with the Bitcoin dominance. So what I've done here is that I've created this flowchart for everyone for free a few years ago that can be used by anyone. Basically, it's the most referred chart and has been copied all over the internet. It's also the #1 referred chart since 2018 on Google if you type in Bitcoin dominance. So if you take a deeper look into it, or want to take a deeper look into it, the link is in the description below. Now, the cash flow cheat sheet chart helps us understand the concept of cash flow very easily within the markets by understanding the various degrees on where Bitcoin either increases, decreases, or stabilizes in price, and in accordance to how the Bitcoin dominance either moves up or down. Very simply, it helps us finish the equation on how altcoins will react. Now, this is just a general rule of thumb, meaning that it requires only a little common sense. It doesn't mean that every altcoin will go up or down. It just means that how the general alt season will come and how you can better prepare yourself for it to maximize profits. So you can expect the overall markets to either go up, down, or however it is, but picking the right altcoin can be the icing on the cake. For example, this season was primarily focused on meme coins. So if you follow that meme coin narrative and also try to apply that same idea with this chart, then you probably profited quite a bit. So what can be in store for the next alt season? Most likely dinosaur coins, in my opinion, which are the old altcoins that didn't move as much this season, but that is an entirely different topic, and I'll also go over this just very briefly in this video. So give this video a like and even comment below if you would like to see on why I think dinosaur coins such as XRP, EOS, Bitcoin Cash, or even Litecoin might even go for a massive run. So in conclusion, by using this flowchart, we just use Bitcoin's price action as the medium, and it's ultimately decided by the other control factor, which is the movement of the dominance that either goes up or down as well. So like I've said, although these are not the absolute rules, the flowchart I created here outlines most of the scenarios where Bitcoin dominance can be used to predict the potential trends in the altcoin markets. So let's take an example on what we observed in the past year for the current Bitcoin bull market. Now, we saw a rise in both the Bitcoin dominance, right? We saw a huge run here and also in the Bitcoin price. That's why we saw a huge all-time high being hit for Bitcoin. And we actually saw a decrease in the altcoin markets. Now you're thinking, how is that possible, right? Because we have the Satoshi values. We didn't see altcoins moving as much, really, if you think about it, only for specific coins such as meme coins, like I've mentioned. That is why you see or saw only meme coins only run this year with each dip within the dominance that we saw occurrence happening within as we went up. So of course, you'll see the USD value for the altcoins rise in value respectively, but one thing that is often missed is the Satoshi value of the altcoins. We did not see the true alt season this year that many were expecting. Why? Because like I've just said, we must take a look at the Satoshi value pair chart. Those will usually decrease in value since Bitcoin's price is increasing. So let's take a look at the Ethereum BTC chart and I'll try to explain what I mean. So we saw the Bitcoin price and also the Bitcoin dominance increase in price, and we saw the massive bull run happening. And I just mentioned that the Ethereum pair should, and theoretically, be decreasing, right, from the past year. So if we look at the Ethereum BTC chart, boom, it's still decreasing. It means that even though the USD value is increasing, it might indicate that not many people are interested in buying Bitcoin based on the Satoshi value pair. Everyone's still interested in buying only Bitcoin. Now, where was a specific spot that Bitcoin or we actually saw a massive run in the altcoin value of the Satoshi value pair for Ethereum, for example? Right here, ladies and gentlemen, June 2022 all the way up to September 2022, right? If we look at it on the BTC.D chart, same thing happened here. We saw a massive decrease. This is where we actually should have seen a massive rise in the altcoin markets, but that's kind of the beginning step of how I'm going to be that maybe have short foreshadowing on what we're going to be seeing next as well, because we saw a massive increase in the Ethereum BTC chart, but also a massive decrease in the Bitcoin dominance chart. So if we go back to the BTC chart for Ethereum pair, we can see this is when we almost created an all-time high for the BTC pair in itself. So if we go to the actual USD pair, we can see that all of the smart whales, that is probably where that marked the bottom of the altcoins. That is where you should have been accumulating no matter what, even if the price didn't increase as much on the USD pair. So that is where we're going to be seeing the possible alt season happening when we are referring to this chart as well. We saw a massive decrease in the BTC dominance, but also a massive rise in the BTC pair of whatever altcoin you may be looking at. And that is where we saw that possible alt season happening. And that is why we got 100% right in that short window of period of time. So following that, that is where we saw that trickling move up. And I expect, again, another possible move to the upside based on another few factors that can be worked upon top of this theory as well, which is the Elliott wave theory. So if we go back to the Bitcoin dominance chart and why I think that we are still kind of expecting a possible move up for a lot of altcoins is based on our EW count or the Elliott wave count. As you can see, we're looking for 5 waves up and we're also expecting a major correction. And remember, a correction within the Bitcoin dominance chart isn't a good thing for the alt season. It's a very good thing. So we're expecting this 5th wave to conclude very soon. Now, what is the Bitcoin price actually telling us? So if we look at the Bitcoin price on how that is actually going to be happening, we can see that we're expecting also a 5th wave move to the upside that I've been expecting or have been discussing for the past few weeks from my videos. We're expecting another possible 5th wave to the upside. What about the move for the dominance? We're expecting a move to the downside. So in accordance to that, along with Ethereum, XRP, and other coins that are just purely accumulating, they haven't even breached their all-time highs, ladies and gentlemen. So that puzzle fits. What about on this flowchart as well? We're going to be expecting the Bitcoin dominance to decrease while Bitcoin increasing in price on that 5th wave and also seeing the alt season happening. And we're going to be expecting a massive breakout for altcoins as well. So ladies and gentlemen, that's how we can be looking at it. Now, while all these factors do not guarantee a bull or a bear market, historical data shows a strong correlation between everything that I have just mentioned. So that is why we should be looking at the Satoshi value chart and why we could be looking for a massive break to the upside on the Satoshi value pair, the USDT pair as well, and also a decrease in the Bitcoin dominance. And if you look at an accumulation zone for whatever altcoin that you may be looking at, this gives us that much more confidence that a possible alt season may be coming for a lot of these coins that we haven't seen a run for. That's why the meme coin narrative, those coins, very, very simply put, were very low cap altcoins. That is why we saw those spikes and dips within the Bitcoin dominance, and those are the only coins that actually moved. The whole market didn't go into those meme coins. Only a very specific few actually went for a massive run. That's not how we should be looking at how the overall general markets are going to be working. So I do believe like XRP, Litecoin, all of these coins that are accumulating, that I think those are the coins that might have the next biggest potential in the coming year or two, especially for XRP where it's been in a sideways accumulation. And if we look at the XRP BTC chart, that is also in accordance. We're seeing a massive decrease, as you can see here. This means that people are not interested in XRP or Ethereum, like I've showed earlier, that people are not accumulating this coin. However, people are accumulating in the USDT value, and that's giving us a little bit of a signal that we might be seeing a massive breakout, and we might see a lot of whales smart buying into these altcoins that have lost a lot of value in their Satoshi value pair. So again, the same thing, one last time or one last look into why we were looking at it. We saw a massive spike during this period, and we saw a massive dip within the BTC.D chart when Ethereum did the same thing, and that marked the bottom of the actual bear market. So what does that mean? We might be in this accumulative phase for XRP, Ethereum as well, and we might be expecting a massive pump to the upside based on just those reasons alone and on the flow chart. So hopefully that was helpful, ladies and gentlemen. The link is in the description below for how we can be interpreting this. If you are interested in reading into this, I've also written an article on this. So please do take a look into it. Hopefully that was helpful in why we can be expecting another alt season going forward and why I'm not still bearish. It does require a little bit of conviction. I'm happy to be wrong, but right now a lot of things just seem to be aligning, especially by this flowchart that hasn't failed me ever since 2018. So hopefully that was helpful. Maybe we'll see a massive run in your favorite altcoin. Who knows? But we got to be very selective about what altcoins we're going to be picking. But for me, I'm choosing the Dino coins like Ethereum, XRP, and so forth. None of this is financial advice, listeners. This is just more of an educational and observational perspective on how we can be approaching the markets. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully that was helpful. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.